That is a Ron White joke. If you don't understand that, I will find the bit and link it. Oh my god, now I've got to find it because it was amazing. That was the best fucking thing.
Do you do all your business networking on your Samsung 23 Plus?
I do not. Are you what business?
You don't go to business conferences and network?
No, I do not.
It's a blast. You should try it. There's usually shrimp. It's not true.
Oh, I mean, you can call them short, but really, a shrimp?
Oh.
Now I'm just sad.
It's true because Zero's 4'10".
Shut up! I'm 5'6".
Oh my god, we're the same height, Zero?
Yes. And actually, I was 5'7" a year ago. Figure that shit out. I am getting shorter.
You're getting older. Apparently, you shrink as you get older.
My height, it's the fact that gravity is now dragging my balls down, and therefore shrinkage.
Therefore, it's exacerbating your osteoporosis. Oh, old people. It's gonna have with all the making light of old people problems. One day, old age is just gonna hit me like a ton of bricks. It's just gonna be karma coming back and be like, "Yeah, you thought it was funny, didn't you?"
It is
coming for you.
That phrasing.
Oh, there we go. All right.
There he is.
Hey.
Ew.
Sorry, I'm late.
Oh,
I got
good.
stuck at work. Of course, happened on a Monday.
Always.
Didn't get out of there till like 7:45, which is
too late.
Shitty. I mean, it's not bad. I got paid a lot of money for it. Let's see. I got 8 hours of regular pay, 2 hours of time and a half, so that's 11 hours of pay, and then 45 minutes at double time, which is another hour and a half. So I got 13 hours of pay today.
Damn.
Not bad.
Not bad at all.
You figure out how to work that past 24 hours within a single day, you'll be on state police territory.
Bunch of relay boxes got stolen today. Got robbed today, I should say.
I mean, that shouldn't be surprising, really. I mean, yeah, of course, people still steal from the mail.
Oh, mail theft is on the rise. It's actually increasing right now.
That's awful. Why would you steal? Never mind.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm
Yeah.
not gonna ask that question.
No, I went the same route in my mind, and I was just like, no, just shut up.
Wait, what?
Why would okay? I'm gonna ask the question. Why in the fuck would people steal mail?
Are you kidding? There's so much money in the mail. There's a million checks in the mail. It is not hard to fraudulently cash a check.
Oh no, it's not.
And you boost a relay bag that's got 3,000 pieces of mail in it. 2,000 maybe. I mean, some relay boxes have more than others. A typical relay bag will probably have maybe like 600-700 pieces of mail plus 30 to 50 packages.
Damn. Okay, yeah. No, yep, boosting mail is
so
for me,
if you're told a scumbag, then that's Christmas.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of money in there. A lot of money, and a whole bunch of packages. You might get something good in there too.
90% of it's Temu, I bet, so it's cheaply made crap.
Mostly Amazon, but yeah, there's a few Temu things. But I mean, it's mostly clothing.
Yeah.
I deliver a lot of Macy's bags, H&M bags, all kinds of clothing labels. Yeah, a lot of that goes through the mail.
Steal somebody's package, just like, hey, I got a free flesh lamp. Do you mean fleshlight? No. All right, hello everybody. Welcome to Church of Chonkwij podcast. My name is Old Squiddy Bastard. Zero's name is Old Squiddy Bastard. My name is Flip the Squid. This is OmegaConstruct and Pudlord Biscuit Maze. All here tonight. Welcome everybody.
So okay, so I have to bring this up. I keep YouTube on my TV during the day, and I have been getting a lot of commercials for the quote fleshy. It is apparently an automated blowjob machine, and I've never been brave enough to click the link.
I'm disappointed that
I
YouTube has
don't-
never recommended this to me.
Yeah, I don't get ads for that, so that's definitely your algorithm.
Well, you know what? Then my algorithm is
Doom
completely
3?
fucked.
Doom 3 is currently free on Prime Gaming.
Hell yeah.
Oh, I need to link my Prime account again.
But
to my
you
Twitch
probably
account.
have to download it and use their stupid fucking launcher.
Yeah, that's fine.
No, it's a GOG. It's a
Oh,
GOG
no
code.
way. It's a fucking GOG link? Okay, fine.
Yeah, you get a GOG code.
I'll do that shit tonight.
Oh wow.
Yeah, GOG is where it's at. We don't even need to be sponsored by GOG. I should just start throwing up commercials for GOG because they're fucking great. All right. Yeah. So, tell me more about the fleshy.
Again, I have not been brave enough to click the link. It's
You just gotta. Do you have a what? Wait, you're watching YouTube on your TV? You got a smart TV or is it hooked up to your PC?
it is a smart TV. Why would I hook my? I am not introducing more technology to the portal. Eventually, at some point, it will become sentient, and I don't know if I'm ready for that.
You need to hook it up to the PC so that you can plug your smart TV into your computer and you can use a browser so that you can have uBlock and not see ads anymore.
Ah.
Yes.
Yeah, but then I start getting that stupid pop-up. YouTube is no longer allowing ad blocker. Click the little X in the corner.
Yeah, you can fix that with one line of code in uBlock. I ran into that problem on one of the computers I use a VPN on, and YouTube was like, "No more ad block allowed," and I was just like, "No, fuck you." So confirmed, the uBlock solution does work. I'm not giving Google money.
No,
Because
hell no.
I don't really like anybody that I watch. I watch YouTube spitefully. That's awful.
What's funny is when you find an extension that stops Twitch ads, I literally rob everybody I know, with the exception of my buddy Merc.
Oh yeah, you're right. But there was. All right, I'll throw this up here. Did something happen in Destiny 0? Destiny 2
Actually, not
climactic
something.
final shape expansion and delayed.
So it's not so much what happened in Destiny; it's what's happened to Bungie, because apparently all of that money that they got from PlayStation didn't translate into keeping jobs. They've had massive layoffs. Let me pull up the Twitter list that I saw earlier, because they actually broke down what departments were affected. Community, social, marketing, publishing, art, QA, support, legal, HR, and production. All were affected by layoffs at Bungie.
I mean,
They have-
HR is a total joke anyway. You just pull like everybody out of that one, but the rest of them seem actually useful.
Yeah, especially the community, social, production, and publishing divisions. I give Destiny 2 just past when Final Shape comes out for the game to go into maintenance mode. PlayStation will stop maintaining that game. Because it's not going to make them any money. I was going to buy that, but now I'm not going to. One, it would involve me having to pre-order, and I'm just not doing that anymore. But they also they pushed Final Shape out to June of 2024. It was set for February. And then the game Marathon that they were working on, or that they are working on, got pushed from a third quarter 2024 release to sometime in 2025. So PlayStation is effectively, I'm guessing PlayStation is gutting Bungie.
Man.
So it's okay. Sooner or later, they're all going to be owned by Microsoft anyway. So
Yeah, the master gaming community, the Microsoft gaming community. I'm sure that'll be fun.
Won't be micro anymore. It'll be macro.
Ah, Macrosoft. That sounds like a sleeping pad, not a mattress.
Why was there never a competitor to Microsoft called Big Hard?
that is it. We are doing it.
Like that seems like it's just out there waiting to be used.
Future Leetness, if you could just hop on whatever domain site that you look up domain listings on, see how much Big Hard would cost. Not .com, obviously. I'm pretty sure that's a actually, yeah. Let me check that out real fast. Pretty sure that's a porn site. But
If it's not a
you know.
porn site, I'll be real fucking disappointed.
So Doc goes to bighard.com. All of a sudden, he logs off. Well, there goes Doc. He needs another new PC.
I'm just going to throw this up on screen because I think this is funny.
Oh, God.
Website blocked due to riskware. Website blocked bighard.co.kr. It's a Korean site?
Oh, no.
So it got redirected. Bighard.com got redirected to bighard.co.kr. Malware, my malware browser guard blocked the page because it may contain malicious activity. Strongly recommend you do not continue. So yeah, you know, we're gonna call it a day on that one. Nice. And all right, I was gonna go out of order on this one. Yeah, speaking about things getting pushed back, Skull and Bones got delayed again.
Shocker.
Yeah, thank you for posting Article 0. Yeah, this one, we've spoken about this a lot.
Well, and
because
honestly, at this point, they just need to cancel the game.
No.
It's like Star Citizen. At this point, it just needs to be canceled.
No, that's the thing. I mean, this looks like it actually has some potential, some fun. This actually looks like I when this was announced, I was like, oh, that's a neat idea. And then they actually got around to like gameplay footage of it, and I was like, oh, that's actually really cool. That harkens back to Black Flag. I was like, yeah, all right, I could get down with this. And that was 3 years ago. So it got pushed back in 2021. It got pushed back again in 2022. It got pushed back twice this year, I think.
3 times
second time
this year.
It's
the third time. Yeah.
So yeah, people on the project keep on quitting or being fired. The project just seems to go nowhere. I don't think Ubisoft has a strategy or a timeline for this. It's just generally
Ubisoft doesn't have a strategy? Imagine my shock.
I know. Fucking total fucking surprise that Ubisoft is a clusterfuck internally. It is true though. So this article, I think the person who wrote this article, Andy Chalk. Oh, it's our friend Andy Chalk. Okay, I think Andy might have been hitting the bottle when he wrote this because it is full of Herman Melville quotes. Yeah. Could have been a fun game. Might still be a fun game. If Ubisoft can ever get around to releasing it.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. The beta was pretty fun. The closed beta was pretty fun.
It's got great. So I'm not really interested in the multiplayer aspect of it, but it's got great multiplayer attached to it. So could be good for streaming. For some Let's Players. But it's got it used to have at least PVE and co-op PVE. So stuff like that. Getting your friends together, a couple of ships, sailing around, blowing people up, blowing NPCs up. Could be cool. Could be fun.
I mean, when is blowing NPCs up not fun?
Never. Exactly never.
I mean, see our, wow. I'm just blanking. Never mind me.
Sure, what? No, we can play it. We're good at guessing. Give us shapes, colors, celebrities that you're reminded of.
Sounds?
Lemmings is all I got.
Oh, Lemmings was a good game.
That was a great game. Although I do have to say, you said celebrities, and it immediately brought to mind that we lost a couple of really good celebrities here this last week.
We lost a couple of human beings, which is sad. That happens a lot. But I was never a fan of Friends. I don't know if I've ever seen a full episode of Friends.
What about the whole 9 yards and the whole 10 yards?
Saw those.
Those were good movies.
They were, the first one was, the whole 9 yards was a pretty decent movie. The whole 10 yards was not as great. It was actually, the whole 10 yards was kind of fucked up just because it explored the relationship between Bruce Willis and the lady that he was into. God, what is her name? I know her name.
Oh God, now you're gonna make me look it up.
The actress who plays her. I know her fucking name. Please look it up. Yeah.
Yep, looking it up now.
Thank you.
I remembered, and I'm ashamed that that somehow old age managed to make me forget this. On the subject of killing NPCs, I think our shenanigans in Grand Theft Auto have proved that.
Natasha Henstridge. Henstridge?
Is that her?
Or Amanda Peet.
Amanda Peet is the one. Yes.
I will say, the full frontal nudity in that movie, in the first movie, was nice.
Was there full frontal? Because we just,
yes,
she didn't. Amanda Peet didn't show bush.
No, well, no. Okay, not full frontal nudity, but her boobs were quite perky.
Yeah, she showed boobs on TV. Whatever. That was a neat
everybody
movie
loves boobs.
Just because this was before Red was a thing. So like Bruce Willis as a retired whatever, minding his business until trouble lands on his front lawn. This was the whole 9 yards was the first time I saw a Bruce Willis movie like that. And then Red happened. Red might as well have happened in the same universe.
Right.
But yeah, whole 9 yards was a pretty good movie. That's true. Chandler was in that. I don't know what the hell else he was in. I never saw. What was the famous rom-com that he was in? Falling in.
I've watched a lot of Friends in my life.
Yeah.
He was in the Odd Couple. Oh, he voiced Benny in Fallout New Vegas.
Yeah, there's actually been tributes people are doing in the New Vegas or in like the Fallout community. I've seen an article online. Should have posted it.
Okay.
Basically, people are modifying their character to look like him in honor of.
See, that's nice. I appreciate
Yeah,
that.
he actually does have a fandom in the gaming world. Interestingly enough.
Fools Rush In.
Fools Rush In. Thank you. Never saw that movie though. Heard about it when people were paying tribute to him.
And then
Yeah.
who was the other guy? It was it Richard Mole? Mole played Bull in Night Court.
How? I yeah. Yep. Yeah. Anyway, it is sad.
Yeah. Night Court. Oh God, what's his name? Yeah, Richard Mole. Moll.
Man, yeah. So, I keep calling him Chandler. What's his actual name?
Matthew Perry.
Was 54 years old.
Yeah, they
The thing-
deferred the release of what his of the death report. They said that it did not look like there were drugs or anything involved, but he did pass away like strangely in his hot tub.
Yeah, he was found drowned in his own hot tub.
Yeah.
So
Well, the thing that I mean, I understand. He has family, he has loved ones, he has friends, and they are all in mourning, and that is perfectly normal and makes all the sense in the world to me. But when somebody comes on the news and says the community is reeling at this death and they don't understand how it could be possible for someone as young as he did to simply pass away, and I'm thinking to myself, he released a biography in like 2020, like 3 years ago, I want to say, and he talked about his drug abuse. He struggled with Vicodin addiction for 30 years. He struggled with alcoholism and cocaine addiction and multiple other drugs. Like, when you do hard drugs for decades, you die young. you do. Look at Michael Jackson. Look at Prince. Look at I was gonna say Carrie Fisher, but she made it to her 60s. But goddamn, yeah, that is.
I mean, hell, Jerry Garcia passed away at 53. He looked a lot older because of the gray hair, but you know, and the extreme age on his face. But that man did all of the drugs, like all of them.
Okay, I was gonna say I have no idea what kind of drugs that man did, but whatever you say would probably not surprise me.
All of them.
Even
Yeah.
meth.
Back then in the hippie days, like, yeah, they did pretty much everything.
Gotta try everything at least once. Yeah.
In his biography, literally, they say in the his Dark Star biography, it literally just says that in an interview he straight up said, "I have done all of the drugs, all of them," like just like that.
I was always a little pissed off that we were born after lewds were in fashion. It's basically impossible for you to find Quaaludes anymore.
Yeah, they don't exist.
Yeah. So that I would have liked. That's a drug I would have enjoyed trying.
I mean, the reputation certainly makes them sound
Hilarious.
pretty crazy.
I'm not sure I've actually heard of that one.
Quaaludes?
Ludes?
Oh my god. Yeah,
It's,
man.
you can look to various media to see it. Wolf of Wall Street talks about Quaaludes quite a bit.
There's a prolonged scene in Wolf of Wall Street where Leonardo DiCaprio and Jonah Hill are on Quaaludes. Yes, you're right.
What is the? There's something else that's not where I first learned about it though. There's some other piece of media where it came up.
The Bill Cosby trial.
He got out of jail because he appealed.
On a technicality.
The rapist is free. I don't remember either. For all the drugs that they did in Fear and Loathing, I don't think Quaaludes was among them.
I will say this.
Wait, no,
Jonah
I
Hill,
think it totally was.
I think it was Fear and Loathing.
Jonah Hill is playing Jerry Garcia in the upcoming Grateful Dead movie. And it's like, okay. I don't want to see method acting, but okay.
Well, now if Kate Blanchett can be, what's his name, from The Doors, then, yeah, Jonah Hill can be Jerry Garcia.
I mean, no. Honestly, I think...
No, Kate Blanchett was Bob Dylan, wasn't she?
Was she?
Yeah, I think Kate Blanchett was played Bob Dylan. I'll look that up. Go ahead.
Oh my God, she did.
Yeah, I'm Not There, 2007.
Jude Quinn.
She played Jude Quinn.
That's who she played.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I was 30% correct.
Hey, you know what? That is enough for government work.
Oh, man. Okay. So yeah, Quaaludes. Masami, the best comparison that I can make, according to testimonials, is that Quaaludes are a bit like ether, but not debilitating in the same way. Like ether makes you a viewer, a spectator in your own body, and you just sort of, you're completely disconnected. But never done Quaaludes, can't say how similar it is. Devil Ether, totally still around though. Difficult to get a hold of, but every laboratory has some.
Honestly, the easiest way to get a hold of it would be to learn some basic chemistry.
I was about to say, like...
It's not hard to synthesize ether.
Yeah.
That's like basic chem lab,
Well, ethyl
Chem
ether?
101.
Like there are lots of different kinds of ether. Ethyl ether is the one specifically that is referred. I believe ethyl ether is devil ether. I don't know. That would be an interesting science project. I wonder if I could synthesize it. Because I definitely got all the glass.
I mean, I've seen YouTube videos where people synthesize ether and various other solvents for chemistry use.
What's the drug that's not DMT, but it's extracted from poppy seeds?
BHB?
LSA.
Yeah, LSA, that's the one. I've seen plenty of videos and instructionals on how to extract LSA from poppy seeds. I gotta say, the practical application of that knowledge is worthless. That's not how... Like, it's great that you put that on a YouTube video, and at the end you're like, and it totally works, but not in real life. It's significantly more complicated than most things make it out to be. Or most things are just wrong at some step or another.
Well, no, like there's a YouTube channel that I watch that's just like a chemistry guy who does like backyard chemistry, and it's pretty legit. So,
yeah, you need an actual chemist.
Yep, he's currently researching his doctorate
in home pharmacology.
It's actually in physics, but that's because he's doing this. He's focusing on some type of chemistry dealing with like spectra analysis. So
spectroscopy?
I'm not exactly sure. I don't remember. But for his YouTube channel, he does literal backyard chemistry in his shed with his bootleg home chemistry setup, and it's sometimes pretty fun and absurd.
Yeah, mass spectrometry has come like a lot, or has come a long way in the scientific community. Now, the easiest way for you to do mass spec tests on a substance is okay. If you've been to the airport, they do it there. If you ever see them wipe a laptop with a Kim wipe or something, and then stick it into a machine. The machine is using mass spectrometry to basically determine if there are a set number of chemicals on the wipe. So it knows, it has like a library to draw from, like a certain dozen number of things to look for. So that's great, and you can do it really quickly. But if you just want to literally put any piece of matter into one of these machines and figure out what it's made out of, that takes still quite a bit of time. So if you can come up with a way to do that really super fast, or even do it like handheld, where you have like a laser scanner, and you just point it at something and it tells you what it's made of, that would be really fucking cool. I wonder if that exists. That'd be neat. Of course, it pisses a lot of companies off too. They're like, you're not allowed to know it's in our proprietary cement. They're like, the secret ingredient is dead babies. Like, you're not supposed to know that.
Oh, that's great.
Oh boy. So anyway, drugs are great. Do more drugs, kids. And okay, on to the meat of the event. D&D's latest physical book got delayed. Because
Yes.
the defect rate was too high in the stock that they had created.
They were scanning through several of the books and found that there were multiple defects in the printing, and the people who put out the books said, we cannot let these go out in this shape. We are going to reprint. The people who who pre-ordered a physical copy are still going to get that. It's just going to come later, but they will have access to the digital version, as the digital version can be repaired easily. But the number of defects in the actual hard copies were too great and outside of what the publisher deemed acceptable.
That's rough.
Yeah, they would have gotten roasted if they would have let.
Oh
that
my
fly.
god. I'm glad Wizards of the Coast decided not to let that go, because this particular book is one that's been it's the deck of many things, and it's
Oh
just
god, yeah.
yeah.
That's like a
So
classic.
this is one that if they fucked it up, they would have gotten severely roasted for. So they'll people who pre-ordered the physical and digital bundle will still receive early access to the Book of Many Things on Tuesday, October the 31st. So the digital copy is still available tomorrow. The physical copy will not be released until November the 14th. They do not expect any delays because of this. So they just aren't letting this particular release the Book of Many Things will not be impacted, but the Deck of Many Things will. So yeah, the physical version just was not up to snuff.
So yeah, Zero and Masami, what is supposed to be in this book?
Many things. No.
Wasn't it just explaining the deck and how you could use it at play?
Yeah, it breaks down the deck, what the different cards in the deck did, how they could be applied in game, and things like that.
Well, it's worth mentioning that it's a new deck.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's not, the old deck of many things, which was hilarious in reputation because of how absolutely game breaking it was. And basically, if you're the kind of DM who includes one in your campaign, you do so fully accepting that it might very well just derail everything. Because that's what it has the potential to do. So they kind of have updated it to make it a little less absurd. And, a little better. Because let's be honest, the deck of many things is kind of, it's great historical, D&D item. and the stories are hilarious and whatnot. But like, who actually wants to fuck up a campaign with that? So they're making it a little more usable. They're actually building some really cool like campaigns around it and how it can be interesting, and so it is pretty fucking exciting to see what they might come up with.
I will say the funniest thing was when in Critical Role, Grog had the deck, and that was probably the worst idea that anybody at their table ever had. Was letting Travis Willingham have the deck. Because apparently there was an entire one shot that was done because Grog decided to pull one of the cards, and when he did, his soul got yanked out and put into a gem that was then transported to another dimension.
Yeah,
And
so
they
the
had
party
to go
had to go on a quest to
and rescue him.
rescue his imprisoned soul from a gem on a different plane of existence.
Well, as you do.
So that's what the deck of many things can do. See, basically, here's when you use the deck of many things: when you're at level 1, or maybe up to level 3, and it's just like, fuck it, let's see what happens, and that'll shape the campaign. Or when you're like level 18 and have killed a god and are like, okay, what do we do next?
Yeah.
That's kind of the only time you'll encounter, or you would reasonably want to encounter a deck of many things.
Mm-hmm.
Masami, you ever use a deck in one of your games?
Hell no. Nor have I actually been involved in a game. At least not where the players had access to the deck of many things. Like I'm pretty sure at some point within the last, God, I don't know how many ever years, there's at least like one NPC who like later on we identified that they had a deck of many things, and there was some discussion of stealing it, and then we got quickly distracted. So that's about as close as I've come. I've also seen it where like the GM will pre-draw a card, like, and then that single card gets to the party somehow. So I've seen that work pretty
Clever.
well, where you don't give the players the entire deck and the chance of randomness, but you like there's a specific card, and it's a card from the deck of many things, and it ends up in the party's hands, and shenanigans ensue.
Yeah, I mean, it can certainly be a great like
Oh yeah.
Deus Ex Machina type item if you want to play with it that way. And you know, people have also like edited the decks down and taken away some of the more game-breaking potentialities. So,
The wish card.
I mean, that one's generally, you know, that one's not the worst in my opinion. Things like Ruin,
Oh God.
that, yeah.
What does Ruin do?
Every earthly possession you have is gone. Every bit of money, property, everything is gone. It is not that it is taken from you, it is that history is rewritten so that you never had it.
So it's a legitimate James Franco situation. I'm sorry, that's a Spider-Man reference. I'm ruined. I have nothing left.
Oh my God.
Spider-Man.
Doc, I love you. That is a great reference, and I appreciate it. I didn't understand where you were going at first, but then you said it, and I was like, "Yep, there it is."
Yeah, Ruin sounds dumb. But Wish, I never really got like as a level 20 spell. I understand why it's a level 10 spell. You have to be level 20 in most classes to have access to it.
Level 9, and
Yeah,
you get that as a
11.
full caster. What, you get level 9 at 18?
I only know Bard.
Bard.
Bard doesn't
Bard.
get till the end. But yeah, that's a once-a-day affair. And I imagine the DM can just be like, can't use this to do gameplay. You can't wish a god to never have existed. None of that.
Well, here's the other thing about Wish. The most common use of Wish is a free 8th level spell. Wish is an 8th level, or is a 9th level spell that is capable of replicating any 8th level spell without needing material components or knowing how to cast it. You can just wish that literally any 8th level or any 8th level spell in the game, you can just, or lower, you can just wish that it happens and you can cast it. So that's what you do most of the time. If you do anything really dangerous with it, or really interesting with it, it can be dangerous because there's a potential for you to never be able to wish again.
Which is, yeah, that's kind of a fair mechanic. Well, maybe it's not a fair mechanic, but it's a logical mechanic. I understand the reason for. I did, without spoilers of any sort, I did, in Baldur's Gate 3, I did accidentally force a situation where somebody wished me out of existence. So,
Oops.
yeah, so that wasn't great.
That was a one time you used the save mechanic.
Well, the thing was that that's the first time I discovered when you have a party wipe in that game, you get a screen that just says your entire party is dead, and it gives you a quit or reload last save option. So I was like,
Yeah.
oh, okay. The game wants me to reload my last save. I guess I will. Good times. Alright, so yeah. There's D&D news. Good for Wizards of the Coast for keeping an eye out for quality in their printed content. So I do remember doing that whenever, in olden days when we sent things off to print, we always printed one thing at a time and we got it and we reviewed it. And
Makes you wonder what went wrong with the printing process. Are they using a new printer?
yeah.
Do they cheap out?
If they wound up with a huge stock of product that all had defect in it, then yeah, it had to have been hardware related. Because I'm sure at that point, when they're ready to go to mass printing, that they don't have like errors of their own in whatever program they use to design the media.
I wonder if it was like a specific thing was wrong across many of them. If it was like one of the printing plates was fucked up, and so
Yeah.
a whole bunch of page 195 are fucked up.
I thought also, yeah, plates out of alignment, and then I was like, Jesus Christ, nobody uses plates anymore. One of the print heads on the Epson was misaligned, and so the cyan blue came out at just the wrong angle. It wasn't aligned with the MYK. Fascinating graphic design talk. Yay.
Gotta love it. Gotta love when the head's not at the right angle.
Oh, that's fun. You just eat carrots. That'll fix that.
Is that what does it?
Seriously, though, yeah, vitamin A. To cure Peyronie's disease? Yeah, vitamin A. Straighten you right out.
They also have a pill for that now.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
I don't know, that seems complicated. I enjoy carrots, so I just eat carrots.
Get carrots however you can get them, huh?
So I've never had Peyronie's, but I have been privy to a discussion with someone who did, and he's just like, yeah, no, apparently, it's a super common thing, and you can fix it really easily, but only if it's Peyronie's. If your dick's pointed in a different direction, or it's like a banana because you're really going at it when you beat your meat, then that's not a thing that vitamin A can cure. That's like you need to switch hands. It's just like, all right, good to know.
Hot damn.
don't tug too hard in one direction. Switch it up.
God, this is great.
I wonder if ladies get that too. It's like, what? The clits like way to the left or some shit? Yeah, why not? Conversations in my brain, just one half of my brain arguing with the other half of my brain, and nothing beneficial happens. Nothing good comes out of it.
It's like one of those things where when it happens, you just are looking off into the distance, and everybody around you goes, "You okay there, bud?"
And then I notice my dogs are staring at me like, "Are you all right?"
Yeah, no, I'm sorry. I stroked out there for a second. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we're good. Want to go outside? Okay. Yeah. Alright, well, I'm avoiding talking about this because I'm the only person who wants to talk about it. I don't even want to talk about it, actually. We just briefly mentioned that City Skylines came out and it was a fucking clusterfuck because performance was shit. And
Did
the
you
reason...
kind of, like, predict that?
Well, they announced it before it happened. Paradox came out and said, like, yeah, day one performance is gonna be bad. Like, we're gonna dip to 20 FPS when you're stationary on a blank map. And
that's just stupid.
It is. It's like, why would you release a game like that? So the patches have started coming out since then. But the reason that I threw this article up here was because right in the third paragraph here, quote, Colossal Order had warned performance would be a problem for City Skylines 2 before the game came out, and insisted it targeted 30 frames per second even on the most powerful PCs, because there's arguably no real benefit in a city builder to aim for higher FPS. These people do not know dog shit about a city builder then. That's the stupidest statement that you possibly could have made. Like, what? What is the reason for your thinking on that? Because it's just stationary buildings, and you're just looking down at buildings, God view, and nothing's moving? No. There are people walking on your streets. There are cars moving around. There are trains, subways, airplanes, helicopters, boats. There are lots of moving things in your city. And when you're going at 30 FPS, even if it's a solid 30 FPS, it does not look as good as it does at 60 FPS. It just doesn't. So if you're going for like a beautiful game, and that's what this is supposed to be. City Skylines 2 is supposed to be more detailed, bigger, better LODs, ray tracing, sunbeams, all this shit that is supposed to make your city look like a real life Google Maps picture. Like 30 FPS, really? Are you guys fucking stupid? And the answer is yes.
I think the best thing in the world is the people who post the memes and they're like, the human eye can't see more than 30 frames per second. Shut up, you fucking dunce.
That's not true. That's obviously not true. Nobody can point me to a reputable bank of scientific literature that has studied the human eye and says, nope, 30 frames per second is the cap. You can't see faster than 30 frames per second, and if you can, you're crazy. I mean, yes, I am crazy, but I can tell the difference between 30 and 60. Holy shit, no, you want to know just immediately how to tell the difference between 30 frames per second and 60 frames per second? Go into Warframe, go into any open world and do mining. Play the mining minigame, and try to get perfect core samples at 30 frames per second.
God.
It fucks with you so bad. There was a period in Warframe there where I was getting frame drops. It would go from a solid 60 FPS down to 45 or 40. And if I was in the middle of mining a node when that happened, I noticed. So, yeah, that's just nonsense. And the other City Skylines article was 8 packs of regional buildings on the way for free, so 2,500 new building assets spread across 8 regional themes, like the UK and China, should spice up your choices. So never mind that the game runs like dog shit. We've got 2,500 new assets, which probably should have been included in launch, but again, we obviously weren't ready for launch. So
It's the reason why they're not going to charge people for them is because they should have been in the fucking thing at launch.
you're right, but considering that this is Paradox, I'm surprised that this is free.
Fair point.
Yeah, so City Skylines 2, giant clusterfuck. Fuck this game. Stick with City Skylines 1. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. My computer chews it up. And it's got a beautiful asset library on the workshop. Brand new assets this week, actually. Even though City Skylines 2 launched, somebody finally did Kowloon, the Walled City, as a unique building. So I think that's pretty fucking neat. Kowloon just, even though it was a complete shithole and people living in squalor, and it was awful, and it should have been torn down, it was really interesting to look at. A lot of detail packed in there. Yeah. Good times.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about. I have seen pictures of that place. It's
Yeah.
cool. It looks like you could have like some sort of cyberpunk game there.
Yes.
Have you ever seen Dread?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
Mega
Yeah.
City 1.
That's basically kind of what it
Yeah.
was.
But Omega, Bloodsport, the 1980s action movie Bloodsport was filmed in Kowloon. Last movie to be filmed in Kowloon.
Wait, really?
Yes. And I bring that up because Omega was the one who turned me onto that movie. I was like, hey, have you ever seen this? And I was like, nope. And I loved it.
Yeah, if you ever need any recommendations for good 80s action movies, I got a whole pile of them.
Apparently, and I found this out the other day, apparently, speaking of bad action movies from the 1980s, Running Man is getting a remake. Reboot. I'm
That's
sorry. You can't redo that movie without Arnold in it in some way. He needs to be in that movie.
Oh, now how dare you? Did you not pay attention to the reboot of Total Recall with Colin Farrell and Jessica Biel? It was only the most popular movie of 2000 and whatever.
I didn't see the reboot of that movie.
It was really unnecessary.
I got to see that movie in the theater.
How'd that
There's
grab
the local theater here in the city that plays old movies, and if you can catch some good ones. It was pretty great. I love that movie. I've been a fan of that movie since I was a little kid.
The original Total Recall?
Oh no, I'm still talking about Running Man.
Oh yeah, Running Man. Yeah.
Oh, Running Man's such a good movie.
Yeah, it was really great seeing that on the big screen.
You just need to make sure that, Jesse the Body is nowhere near that shit.
So that was a glorious time when 80s movies were schlock, but everyone celebrated that they were schlock. It was really good quality schlock, and it is timeless. You can still watch those movies; they're still pretty great. Some of the language is not aged well, but apart from that,
Some, most.
also,
Yeah, I mean, Jesse Ventura has a great line in Predator.
Yeah.
Where he says
It's the
very strong slur against gay people.
Yeah, it's the line immediately preceding the line, "This stuff will make you a goddamn sexual tyrannosaurus."
Yeah. It's the best line in the movie, and he delivers it just amazingly. But yeah, you can't put that on a movie anymore.
Nope. No, you cannot. Went back and watched Blazing Saddles this weekend. Yet another movie that could not be done today.
Oh yeah, no way, no.
Is
That was great. I was talking about Mel Brooks movies last week.
Oh,
A few days
boys.
ago, me and Steph started rewatching MASH. Well, I'm rewatching it. She's seen some of it, but this is her first time that she's gonna see all of it. Yeah, there's
There's a lot of stuff
a
to mesh.
lot. Like,
Do you
in
remember the
season
name
one,
of the
in season 1, the Black Doctor, his
Yes!
name is Spear Chucker.
Spear Chucker
Oh my
Jones?
god, I forgot about that.
That's his fucking call sign or his nickname or whatever. Hawkeye Pierce, Trapper, fucking Spear Chucker.
Spear Chucker Jones.
Jesus. But at the same time, like,
It was nothing.
that show
they treat it
is
like it's nothing.
But what I'm saying, at the same time, that show is very progressive for its time and some of the things that it stands up for. Like, they call the Black Doctor Spear Chucker as his, nickname or call sign or whatever. But in one of the episodes in the first season, Pierce goes off on a guy for using anti-Asian slurs against the people there. So, like, it's there's a lot of moments where Pierce is, being very progressive for the times, and then the rest of the time he's also being a lecherous horn dog.
Yeah.
Yep.
Very
he's
weird
a,
balance.
He's a sex pest.
I kind of feel like I was talking with Steph about it. I feel like it's kind of a ham-fisted attempt to make him into a complex character. Like, look, he's always horny and sexually harassing women. Which also, back then was perhaps a little more normalized in society. But then he does all these things that are, socially conscious and, progressively thinking. So it's kind of interesting to analyze the show from the 1970s. Well, what's really interesting, Steph and I were wondering, how much of it are they like mimicking the way things were in the 50s, or how much is it more that it's reflecting the attitude of the 70s when the show was made?
All right, so to that's a good point. I was gonna ask, have you ever watched any of the Marx Brothers movies? Are you familiar with Groucho Marx?
Very, little bit. Like, I'm not an aficionado of the Marx Brothers, but I've seen a bit.
So if you go, maybe just watch like a Groucho Marx compilation somewhere. But if you can keep Groucho Marx in the back of your mind, maybe see how Hawkeye measures up to Groucho Marx, because the character, the comedy, the crudeness, but the intelligence, to me, I always thought that Alan Alda was drawing a lot of inspiration from Groucho Marx. He also does several impressions of Groucho Marx throughout the show.
Yep, the cigars and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they get started in season 1. Yeah, I saw the episode with him doing one of them.
Doctor, are you going to operate? I'd love to, but first... wait, no, sorry. Doctor, are you going to perform surgery? I'd love to, but first I have to do an operation. So...
Holy shit, I just did 1.2 something million damage.
Nice. Fucking druids, man.
Slap. No, alright.
But, no, I have been going back and watching a lot of like older movies, and as I'm watching them, I'm going, no, that was no, that wouldn't fly today at all.
That's when Mel Brooks was a fucking genius.
Oh yeah.
The producers fucking love the producers, and you could never do that today. But when Mel Brooks did it in, what was it, the 80s? He do
the
producers. It was fucking great, and I can watch it again today, and I can appreciate the humor behind it. Springtime.
Oh my god!
In Germany.
So, the original, the producers,
oh yeah, not the original.
1967.
I was about to say, because I think they redid it in the 80s or early 90s, because or at some point, because John Barrowman was Hitler in the new one, and I've seen that clip, and it is glorious.
Okay.
Oh.
Again,
right.
way off. 2005.
I was estimating, man. I'm old. I don't get that anymore.
Wait, Mel Brooks attached to it?
In 2005?
Yeah.
Yes. Mel Brooks
Wow.
was the writer. Susan Stroman was the director. Nathan Lane, Matthew Broderick, and
Wow.
Uma Thurman.
Wow, okay. Sweet. I prefer the one with Gene Wilder.
Oh,
I mean,
I prefer.
yeah. Gene, if you're gonna watch something with Gene Wilder in it, you're gonna watch the one thing with Gene Wilder in it. Gene Wilder is amazing.
Yeah.
My favorite thing about Gene Wilder was when he was interviewed about the reboot of Willy Wonka with Johnny Depp, and he just called it trash. He was like, "What the fuck is this shit? Don't talk to me about this." Oh man.
All I'm gonna say is it's better than fucking what's his name being an Oompa Loompa. Hugh Grant. Hugh Grant being an
Grant.
Oompa Loompa in the most recent iteration.
Yeah, that, I mean, fine, I can totally see Hugh Grant as an Oompa Loompa, but, like, all the Oompa Loompas? Who was that guy? Who was the Indian actor who played
Let's
the
see
Oompa Loompa?
here. Charlie and Chocolate
Deep
Factory.
Roy.
Was it Deep Roy?
Pretty sure.
Yep, Deep
Like-
Roy.
Nice. Because he's been in a ton of movies that I've seen. Little strange to just CGI him into a million Oompa Loompas. That was kind of weird. But whatever, that movie is over and done with. Nobody wants to watch that anymore. No one's singing the songs of Johnny Depp's Willy Wonka. But meanwhile, I can remember all the goddamn songs from Gene Wilder's Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Sorry. Difference in name.
So you mean to tell me that I put an abnormal brain in a 7.5 foot long, 54-inch wide gorilla? Thank you, Masami. Thank you for that. Thank you so much for that earlier today. It made my fucking day. Abby something?
Abby something. Abby normal. Oh man. So one of my favorite bits in there is when Frankenstein is going through the jars. It's just like, 10-year-old head, 5-year-old head, 1-year-old head, fresh head. And it's Marty Feldman. He just starts saying, "I ain't got no body." Igor, Frederick, what are you doing here? I heard the music. Also, the lightning striking. The lightning striking every time someone says "bruja."
Mm-hmm. Love it. That's such an underrated classic. I mean,
I've honestly, yeah, I don't know terribly many people who have seen a lot of Mel Brooks movies, who are our age, I should say. The older people get, the easier it is to strike up a conversation there.
I'll tell you what, growing up, my uncle used to, we would sit down and watch Mel Brooks movies. And it's just because my uncle loved Mel Brooks, absolutely loved Mel Brooks. That and the Indiana Jones movies. He was a fiend for the Indiana Jones movies.
I was going to say, well, yeah, Indiana Jones and various Mel Brooks movies have a lot of things in common. But I was like, no, I can't really think of any. Indiana Jones movies are great though.
Yeah, sorry, let's be correct about this. The original Indiana Jones movies. All of the newer ones are awful.
Oh, yeah, no, yeah, the first three. When you say the Indiana Jones movies, it's the first three Indiana Jones movies. Indiana Jones stops at Last Crusade, as far as I'm concerned. Kingdom of the Crystal Skull was an interesting YouTube video. And I don't even know what the latest one is called. I just know that I'm not going to watch it.
The Dial of Destiny.
Yeah, that sounds great. That just sounds fantastic.
The only thing I hear when people say Dial of Destiny is the end of Constantine, when Satan has come to get John himself, and he goes, "Oh, he has the spear of destiny."
Yeah, he's like, Lucifer's in the next. Yeah, your son's in the next room. Oh, is that right? With Gabriel. There's no accounting for taste. They have the spear of destiny.
They have the spear of destiny.
Yeah.
I love that scene. Also, another movie in which Rachel Weisz is amazing.
I will honestly say when who was it that was interviewing him? It was it Jimmy Fallon? And they said, they looked right at Keanu Reeves, and he said, if you could get any movie, any role now, any role, and you wanted to redo it, and you knew that if you said it today, that it would get you that role, they would call you tomorrow. He said, I'll be 100% honest, John Constantine. And the crowd went nuts. It is such a bad movie because it following the lore of Constantine, it's one of those things where it's just like, oh god, this is so far from the source material, but at the same time, it is so good.
So that's the thing. First of all, yeah, Masami, there is no better Lucifer in cinema than Peter Stormare. He just wins.
Yeah, it was just fucking beautiful. Just no notes.
But I know there's a Constantine 2 in the making, and it's I believe it's Keanu Reeves and Peter Stormare is back. Which okay, fine, but there are movies like the Matrix movie, the first Matrix movie. I guess maybe the sequels were fine when I was in high school, but yeah, the first Matrix movie, Constantine, Johnny Mnemonic. Movies like that are like I equate this to Firefly. Firefly was a really fucking excellent show. It had 14 episodes and a movie. I don't want there to be a season 2 of Firefly now. I don't want that. Because it's as special as it's ever going to get. It's great having those 14 episodes of that movie. It's not enough. I wish there was more at the time. I wish it hadn't been canceled, but it was, and that's where it left off, and there's no way to recapture the lightning and put it in the bottle anymore. So
Absolutely not.
There's certain stuff when I hear, oh, they're coming out with Constantine 2, I'm like, but why? Like, the first movie was great. Do you really think you're going to be able to do that again? Aren't you just setting yourself up to be disappointed? Because, I mean, I guess it's possible, throw a fistful of darts at the wall, one of them's going to hit the target. But, man, people just need to chill out. Just like, it was a good thing. Enjoy the good thing. Maybe Keanu Reeves could, come out with a completely different role. Because, John Wick happened, and that was an enormous success, so maybe he should take on another character in a different movie, in a different universe, doing different things. Maybe it would be just as good. Whatever. I'm old. I'm old and cranky. Get off my lawn.
It's okay to be old and cranky.
It's like if somebody wanted to do another Blade movie now. Just be like, even if it had Wesley Snipes in it. I don't know.
So, Doc, I hate to be the bearer of bad news.
Oh, no. Hey,
Hang
Greatness
on.
and Gaming is here.
Let's see here.
Greatness, you showed up just in time for us to ramble on about movies. And
Yep. Let's see. Let's see. Blade 2025.
Talked about it earlier on the podcast before you got here, Greatest, but a bunch of relays in Woolsey got boosted today, including one of mine.
good times.
Hershiala Ali is playing Blade.
I'm just going to go to the Wikipedia page and see the last movie that Wesley Snipes did. For sure it was a while. Oh, nope. He's been in some TV shows. He was in Coming to America. Oh, that's fucking right. He was in the Dolomite movie in 2019. I saw that. I fucking loved that movie. Everybody should see Dolomite Is My Name, 2019. It was fucking great. Alright, so that's good. Wesley Snipes is still doing stuff.
I mean, he's got to do something to make the money back that he lost. Or had to give to the government.
Yeah, you know, tax evasion, whatever. He's
Taxation
a
is theft.
great guy. What is the movie that I can never remember the name of? Where he played the villain, the clamshell movie. He doesn't know how to use the clamshells.
Oh, fucking Demolition Man.
Demolition Man, thank you. Yeah, I can never.
Such a
remember the name
good
of that.
movie.
It was fucking great.
Yet another movie where he looked at somebody and said, "Motherfucker, have you lost your mind?" That seems to be a Wesley Snipes thing. Kind of like Samuel L. Jackson just saying the word motherfucker. It's a thing. It happens.
Oh man. Well, we were talking about all this media and stuff. So some Omega posted last week was there's a Fallout TV series from the creators of Westworld. It's coming. It's gonna be on Amazon Prime.
I am so excited for this. Like,
Well,
I am a huge fan of Fallout. They better do it justice, or I will be pissed.
Yeah, that's always the danger when it comes to video game shows. But you're gonna have to wait until April 12th of next year.
I'm good with that.
I feel like the people behind Westworld have, you know, earned my attention on it. Like I'll give a benefit of the doubt here and think that they'll do a good job of it. At least the first season or two.
I mean, honestly, if you look at Westworld, was Westworld not but Fallout 4 set in a different area with the synths and everything? I mean, it kind of was, in my opinion. I could be completely off base here, but
Season 1 of Westworld was a lot of things. It's hard to peg it. That's why it was so brilliant, actually. Season 1, I'm talking specifically of Season 1. Season 2, things started to go downhill a little bit. Doris was an absolutely fucking insufferable character, and I really started to hate the character. Season 3 was bad. Season 4 was bad. That show had a real fall from grace, in my opinion. But that first season was really fucking great. But yeah, I was trying to find out from this article if there's plans or if there's any hint as to like the plot that the show will follow. If the show is going to be following the video game loosely, or if it's going to just do its complete own thing in the Fallout universe.
I hope it does that. I think one thing that we have learned from recent TV shows is that it's better to expand a universe and add new content than it is to rehash the same stories.
Right.
Well, specifically for The Witcher, I disagree. But that's because The Witcher started off telling the story of the books and then tried to change the existing story, and that, I mean, I can understand how that would get people pissed off. What if Game of Thrones started off following the first book exactly, and then it just completely diverged from the rest of the books, so much to the point that the books and the show became so disparate that there were no comparisons could be drawn. So yeah, if they're gonna follow the game, I hope they start off that way and they keep that way. If they're not gonna follow the game, I hope they start off right from episode 1. They're just like, nope, we're not following that. We're making our own show, and then nobody has anything to argue about.
There are so many, speaking from the fact that I have looked into the lore of the Fallout universe quite heavily. There are so many different vaults that they could center this story around that they don't need to go to Vault 111, Vault 101, Vault 13, Vault or Vault 113.
No, do all the vaults that like have never been explored.
Exactly. Do like
that's the whole point, is that it's a whole world where like there's a million stories to be told. You know, the Fallout isn't a story. Fallout is a universe in which stories take place.
correct.
And that's what good sci-fi is. That's what a good, fantasy show is. You got to build a universe before you can tell a good story in it. Just try and tell a story without establishing a good universe. It doesn't work. But Fallout definitely has a lot of rich, world building built right into it. I mean, the question really becomes, with adaptations like this, is how much will they respect that world building and utilize it versus what the hell happened with Halo, where, that was just completely different from everything we know about Master Chief.
Yeah, here are all these established characters, and we're going to use them to tell our stories, and then we're going to change them. Now Master Chief takes his helmet off all the time and fucks.
Master Chief doesn't fuck. He's in love with an AI in his brain.
Oh, man. Yeah, alright, so Fallout TV series. April 12th of next year is when it's scheduled for premiere on Prime Video. And to answer your question, Zero, I don't see J.J. Abrams or Alex Kurtzman anywhere near this project, so hopefully the universe will actually be respected.
Yeah, well, is Michael Bay attached to it? Because if that's happening, there are going to be a fuck ton of explosions, and it's not going to be good.
No, he's dead.
What? What? When did that happen?
I haven't heard anything about Michael Bay in years, so in my mind, he's just dead.
Okay, well,
What a shame. There will be no more Transformers movies.
Thank God.
Whatever will China do?
Oh, God. Fucking Transformers movies.
Yeah, and BlizzCon is going to be November 3rd and 4th. That's all that we need to say about that.
So, and this is mainly going to be a question for Omega, because I think him, myself, and Leetness have played Diablo 4 the most. Do you think we're going to get an expansion announcement for Diablo 4?
Well, they've already announced that they're going to be doing yearly expansion. I mean, that's
yeah, no,
old
that
news at this point. I don't know. I mean, do you think they're actually going to announce their first expansion already? I doubt that. But who knows?
Zero, do you think they're gonna announce a DLC or have a DLC preview?
I think we're gonna have a DLC preview. I think you'll see it'll be like the DLC preview coming in 2025, and it'll be like somewhere close to next year before we see anything on it. Um, Warcraft is definitely getting an expansion. There have already been quote unquote leaks. Um, that I have looked at all of the leaks and gone, those are fake. Because they literally all were. They were pre-rendered assets that were already in the game. And it's like somebody just threw them together quickly in Photoshop and it looked like ass. I think a monkey with a sketch pad could have done better.
All right, yeah. Wait, okay. So, hey, Masami, you wanna do some light gambling here? We can all just. This is how we can close out the podcast. Masami and I really, you and I really don't play D4 all that much, or at all. Do you think? What are your thoughts? Do you think that there's going to be a Diablo 4 DLC announced at BlizzCon in November? In like literally 4 days.
Now, think the game was just released like 5 months ago, so take that into account as well.
Yeah, the game also went on sale a month ago, so take that into account as well.
Oh, good lord.
Because I'll tell you what I'm doing here. I want to establish a spectrum, because Omega says, or I say that there is going to be the DLC announcement, a sneak preview of whatever class is coming with it, and a release date for 2024, sometime in 2024. I say there's going to be all those things. Zero says there's going to be a preview of the DLC, but they're not going to talk about release or anything like that. Omega, I think, if I heard you right, Omega, you think they might not talk DLC at all. There just might be, what, standard Diablo 4 news, maybe something about Season 3?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's too early and still too much wrong with the core game for them to be looking at expansions quite yet. I mean, granted that, that's not to say that Blizzard doesn't have a large enough team that they can be doing multiple things at once. But
I would say that it'll probably be discussions about the season, because that seems logical, but they also might have a tiny little like graphical teaser about what they might be considering for DLC, just to keep people interested.
Okay, yeah, so you're kind of with Zero, if I'm right, Zero.
Yeah, something along those lines.
Okay, so that'll be the spectrum from no DLC talk to full DLC talk with a release date, and we'll see in BlizzCon what they decide to do. Because just personally, the reason I think the way I think is that I think ActiBliz is panicking, or they did panic over the drop in their player numbers for Diablo 4, and that may have been why the game went on sale. That's why town halls ramped up, and a lot of a lot of quality of life features came into the game, and classes got changed according. They listened to their community basically, and they doubled down on all that stuff in town hall. Also, I think that's why they started
season
putting out
two
the
is also
survey.
season 2 is also really well received. Like,
Yes, it has been.
people are enjoying it, both in terms of a lot of the quality of life changes that have happened, and in terms of just straight up content that they've added in the season itself. So,
Yep.
you know, they added a ton of Uber bosses, and I can't imagine that those are going to go away.
Oh, they are. They're permanent.
You know, these are the iconic bosses of Diablo. So they can't just be here for one season and then, we can't fight them anymore. That would be awful.
Well, they brought some back from D2. Yeah, DrNiggle was nowhere in D3. But alright, okay, so cards are down. It's your move, Blizzard.
We know you listen to this podcast. Don't even feign ignorance.
Mr. Blizzard is one of our biggest fans. It was like, there's a guy named Mr. Blizzard.
Oh, God.
Yep. So, alright, thank you everybody for coming along. Hope you enjoyed the podcast. We'll be back same time, so it's next week. Penis. Fuck Winnie the Pooh. Fuck Vladimir Putin. Fuck Nestle. Fuck Linus Tech Tips. Fuck Elon. We didn't do a fucking This Week in Twitter. Did nothing happen in Twitter this week?
I think I've just done talking about it. I don't care anymore.
Let's see. Well, 5 hours ago, the New York Times said that X now claims it's worth $19 billion, down from $44 billion last year. That's not exactly surprising.
That's weird.
It looks like this week news agencies were just roasting Elon's laughably grandiose management style. Quoting The Guardian.
But right now, he's really pushing the whole making X the everything app. He basically wants to control people's money.
Yeah. Where's the X
mad
cryptocurrency?
He's mad that he wasn't able to make X.com, and instead it got turned into PayPal. Because that's what he really wants, is to just play with people's money.
Well, PayPal not gonna give it to you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. It's such a fucking old joke at this point, but it's all that I hear. Every time somebody says X, that song just plays in my head.
What a bad name.
It is. It's a fucking horrible name. But what do you expect? He came up with it while he was on the toilet. He's just like,
I'll call it X. That's the most brilliant idea ever.
I don't know what his accent. I can't do Linus's accent. He has Linus's accent. Anyway, fuck him.
Oh, sorry, lateness. It's true.
Yeah.